It's a relieving thought when you think about movies and movie theaters in 2021 as a movie buff. For the first time in over a year, it feels like we are getting a new movie release every single weekend. This started sometime in April, and I don't see an end in sight. We just got Wrath of Man, Guy Ritchie's newest movie, and that's exactly what I'm reviewing today. Wrath of Man was directed by Guy Ritchie and stars Jason Statham. Terrible accent, I know. A mysterious man takes a job in security, moving thousands, even millions of dollars at a time in trucks, but little do his superiors know of his incredible skill set in combat. One of the first movies I saw in 2020 was The Gentleman from Guy Ritchie, a film that I thoroughly enjoyed when I saw it in theaters, and it seems like Guy Ritchie has once again found his stride. In the 2010s, he was doing a lot of popular mainstream movies like the Sherlock Holmes franchise and that Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie. None of those films in the 2010s felt relatively even close to what Guy Ritchie is known for. Mostly R-rated British comedies that has a lot of violence and it does not hold back on its dialogue. Films that I see as very entertaining, and I just can't get enough of it. After The Gentleman and after Wrath of Man, I'm really starting to enjoy Guy Ritchie films once again. It helps a lot too that Guy Ritchie and Jason Statham have reunited for Wrath of Man, because this whole movie is constantly entertaining. It's exactly what I would expect from a Guy Ritchie movie starring Jason Statham. It's super gory, a lot of violence, tons of action, some good humor, and mostly it's really entertaining. When you see Jason Statham on the poster of a Guy Ritchie film, you should know exactly what to expect before going into the theater. This movie does not hold back whatsoever. It lets Jason Statham be Jason Statham. The man is so good in roles like this. It's as if the guy he played in Hobbs and Shaw was transported into an R-rated movie instead and then became that character. Whenever Jason Statham is on the screen destroying criminals, it is some of the most fun I've ever had watching a Guy Ritchie movie. I cannot say enough how much I love watching Jason Statham just beat the living hell out of some bad guys. The way I felt watching Hobbs and Shaw is reminiscent of watching this movie. And while Statham is the best part of the movie, it's hard for me to overlook the rest of the cast because everyone in this movie gives a pretty good performance and is fun to watch on the screen. Josh Hartnett is an actor that I have not seen in theaters in a very long time, so to see him return on the big screen is great. As a whole, I can get behind each of the movie's characters, and they are all in the same exact boat as the audience. When you first meet Jason Statham in the movie, you know he's somebody you don't want to F with, but at the same time, he's a guy that is very mysterious, and you are eager to learn more about him and his backstory. That's why some of the scenes early on are so funny, because it's very unexpected when Jason Statham goes to town on some of these criminals for everyone involved. They had no idea that Jason Statham is extremely skilled in combat, so when they find this out, it's really surprising to all of them, and the film makes the most of the humor in those scenes. Also, surprisingly, as the film begins to thicken, it turns really dark. In fact, this has to be the darkest Guy Ritchie movie to date. In the first third of Wrath of Man, it is comedy heavy, but then when you get into the second and third acts, after that, the movie is full-blown in the serious department. For many people, that's going to turn them off. If you're expecting a comedy-heavy movie, this is not the Guy Ritchie movie you're looking for. Go back and watch The Gentleman. I found it kind of refreshing and out of the ordinary, though, for Guy Ritchie to venture into a darker tone, because everyone expects this to be a really happy, fun, not at all serious Guy Ritchie film, and that's not what this movie is. I will say, though, I find the shift and tone rather drastic. It goes from this comedy heavy movie and you think it's going to stay that way forever. I mean, come on, man. Post Malone makes a cameo in this movie. It's kind of a meme in the first act of Wrath of Man. And then when we learn more about his backstory of becoming a security guard, this is where the movie has a drastic shift in tone between light to dark. It would have benefited this movie more, though, if it just stuck to one or the other. Either Guy Ritchie should have just gone with a full-blown humorous movie or a full-blown dark movie. And like The Gentleman and various other Guy Ritchie movies, the middle of Wrath of Man becomes a little bit convoluted. Some people will find it really annoying how confusing the movie can get when it introduces new characters and plot points. I mean, this is a layup. You don't have to make it so confusing. Why does Guy Ritchie always do this with his films? All you gotta do is just say who these people are and what the plot of this certain scene is, instead of just rushing right into it and not explaining anything. But a majority of this movie is about having a really good time with the action characters, and you do get invested in its plot, and they do slightly give us the mystery genre as well, with how they present Jason Statham's character as a very mysterious guy. I was very entertained while watching The Gentleman, and the same goes for Wrath of Man. I am giving this movie an 82%. Alright, for those of you who also happened to catch Wrath of Man over the weekend, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. As always, guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.